Hello, everyone, and welcome to Limitless Gaming Esports coverage of Limitless Formula Racing, the Tuesday Limitless 2 edition. I am Kem, one of your commentators for today. I'm glad that any and all of you can join us for this stream. If you have not subscribed to the channel as yet, please do, as that will help us out immensely. And also, if you did not, take a look at the race that took place yesterday for Monday Limitless 1 at Italy, Monza. Please do check that video out as well and like it also. At this time, I would like to introduce my co-commentator as usual for Tuesdays. That would be Big Weir. Glad to see you again. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had a great race yesterday, and I'm very happy. So I can't complain. But no, Cam, you had an interesting one. You had the first technical retirement of the season. In fact, I think of all 3 seasons, to my knowledge. You were looking pretty pacey in the practice, and then you went to the race, and it was all of a sudden there was nothing. So fill the people in. What happened?
Yeah, I was having, because I'm using a wheel now, which I've been using for the past 2 weeks. So I was actually having flickering that was taking place on my brake pedals. So even with zero input in the brakes, it was still coming up like 1 bar on that telemetry where it shows how much pressure you're putting on. So yeah, that was the issue. So like even one of the main things that made me catch on to what was going on is that my fuel was being burned. I was like, what is going on? Like I ran races like a few hours before we got into the practice session, and I knew how much fuel I needed, and I saw what my fuel was doing in the race. I was like, something's not right here. And then I saw that, and I was like, well, I understand what's happening, so I had to retire.
you need about 10 laps extra of fuel, so you have done quite the job to break to feel safe with that issue. But yeah, I think that's, to my knowledge, the first technical retirement. I missed a couple of races last season, of course, with a similar issue, so I can feel you on that one. But but we're here at sunny Imola. It looks really nice and warm, and we had such a dramatic race last week in Austria with a bit of rain. I was saying beforehand I'd love a little bit of changeable conditions. I'll do a bit of digging and see if anyone can give me an update on the weather, but I haven't seen anything just yet. But saying that, I haven't checked yet, so I don't know. But if it's going to stay like this, it's looking like we're going to be in for a dry old race, which you were quite keen for, Ken, to be fair.
Yeah, I do want a dry race because I know there are many places that you can make mistakes on this track. So just adding rain to it, I really don't want to see. I don't want to see a difficult drive for the drivers for this race particular at Imola. So that's why I wanted just dry conditions for today.
Just a little civilized one. It happens.
Yeah.
I think after last week, I wouldn't mind a nice chilled. I don't think I've had a race on Tuesday where I've just sat back in my seat the whole time. It's normally in the last 5 laps. Something absolutely mental happens. Yeah. But I suppose just to talk about the drivers, they're all out. A couple of them are on their first flying laps. Couple of new ones we've got. I've decided I'm going to call with a new driver. He's reserving today, but I think he's after a full-time seat. I'm going to refer to him as Nice Guy Benny because he only joined the Discord yesterday. I'm referring to King Benny, of course, for anyone. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. But he's joined the Discord like yesterday, and he's just a nice guy, and I'm just going to refer to him the entire time as Nice Guy Benny. So if anyone wonders who I'm talking about, just to clear that up, we've got Kodoy. I like that. I like his name. This is fun to say. He's a new driver in, I think, Williams from memory, and Zayek is one of the new drivers. He raced on Thursday previously, but he's come up to Tuesdays now for the Haas. I suppose the other one, just to clear up, in the McLaren, Prior Thib. I'm just going to call him Thibby, because everyone deserves a cool nickname. That is Thibbo Boy. So he's just changed his gamer tag. So he's now Prior Fib, but will be referred to as Fibby.
That's fair. So I'm currently riding on board with BKS. Looks like it's going to be a fast time from him and puts him up to third with a 1:15.874. So as it is right now, top three, McLaren of Lewis F1 with a 1:15.265. Enro, who's actually reserving for the Aston Martin team, has put in a 1:15.607 to put himself in second. And then the aforementioned BKS in, oh, and baby!
Woohoo! Flexing hard. Flexing very hard with that lap, just getting in early, so it takes pole at the moment. Still a couple of drivers still do their laps, but it's a very respectable time there at the top for Baby. Baby was having these controversial incidents with So Hypes, who's not here today. Nice guy Benny is reserving for him in the Ferrari, but those two just cannot seem to have the peace.
Yep. Cannot avoid each other at all.
Well, we've got a bit of an incident going on here, Kevin Turn 1. It's Shug's life in the Merc. He doesn't look like he's any damage, but he was well and truly into that gravel. It was much representative, is what I'm trying to say, of the real life incident between Bottas and Russell. He was just deep into the corner there. So I'm assuming he's going to have a little bit of gravel on those tires. He's going to want to try and get those off, I'm sure, but I'm not sure if he's done his lap yet. It looks like he has put a lap in, but I'm not sure if that's a second or not. But yeah, made a bit of a mistake in the turn one, and there's another one. Fibby boy's done the same thing. Fibby, I'm going to call him Fibby. I need to get used to this.
I'm actually currently on board with XE, and I'm seeing that these can't be purple sector. It's saying purple sector 1 and 2 for XE, but no, he's not coming to the line. He's going to be well off of Baby's time, so I'm not sure. It was saying purple sectors, but it's not going to be representative.
I was going to say, if he was in purple sectors, it was a very poor choice to come into the pits there, but I'm not sure what that was about, but you can never trust the timing sheets on this game, as we know.
So I'm currently on board with King's Home. I believe this is lap 2 on these medium tires that are currently on his car. It is put down to the line and jumps one position, setting a 1:16.159. I believe that was Phoenix. Ooh, took a second, 1.3 seconds out of his prior time to go to 6th with a 1:15.931.
Oh, Cam, it's Christmas. It's Christmas, Cam.
No,
I've got an update on the rain. So apparently dry, with 80% chance of rain at the end of the race. So Christmas has come. We're getting the best of both worlds. That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
A bit of changeable conditions to mix up the order a little bit. See who can make there's a lot of time to be gained by making the tyre change at the right point. I mean, 80% chance of rain might as well be 100. If it doesn't rain, I'll be surprised. I suppose the other thing to watch for is, does it rain heavy enough to even go to the inters?
Right.
Oh, I love a little bit of changeable conditions, to be fair. It gets me excited.
So we currently have just under 10 minutes left in this qualifying session. I'm currently riding on board with Gennady. Has not set a lap time as yet. I will see as some people are coming to the line. I believe that's a Red Bull that went into the pits. There is an Alfa Romeo. I believe that was Iggy who just jumped to 10th with a 1:17.319. He's got yellow flags in sector 3, and Gennady may actually be coming up to it, but I think the Mercedes has moved out of the way. That would be boosted. So Gennady just has a couple more turns until he gets to the start-finish line. And keeps it on track. Well, foot down, and we'll see what it is that the AlphaTauri driver can do. Jumps to 10th with a 1:16.725.
Not a bad lap. I think realistically, to get into the top 10, it's looking like you need to be somewhere in the 115s. Medium tyre, I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Like I said, we do the short qualifying, so it makes it that bit more difficult if you want to go for the alternative strategy. Boy, the only one comfortably in the 15s at the minute, but also, like I said, still a lot of drivers to put their laps in, including actually, just looking, Dark Stomper's put a lap in. You know, we're used to him being sort of the top end of the grid. He hasn't even touched the 115s yet. He's normally a couple of tenths ahead of everyone else, but has been pretty open and happy to openly admit that he's not a big fan of Imola. Finds it a bit more difficult than the rest of the tracks, so it could be a bit of a shock to the qualifying system. You see today, but he's about to go on a lap now, so we'll know in about a minute 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I was riding on board with Kodoy, I'll call him, as he is the new driver for the Williams team, and he set a 1:16.047 to jump to 8th place. I'm now on board with BKS of the Ferrari team, and this looks like it's going to be a slight improvement. It is. So he jumps to 3rd with a 1:15.476.
Yeah, BKS, like I say, up until this point, really, up until he's been sort of a dark horse, sort of putting in consistent performances. Now he's consistently been sort of finishing up in that top 5 positions. He's now the person behind Dark Stomper at the minute in the championship, albeit quite a significant gap. But he's got himself a decent little gap to the guys in 3rd and 4th, which I believe are Kingsholm and Lewis from memory. So yeah, I think he's really putting a fight in the second half of the season so far, and if these qualifying laps are anything to go by, looks like he's come out swinging today again.
And this could be one of his opportunities to try and claw back some of that deficit to Dark Stomper, albeit it is quite a deficit, but this may be a race where he can close the gap a bit. So I'm currently on board with H. Bosworth of the Alfa Romeo team. Has not set a lap time as yet, as we have just over 6 minutes left in this qualifying session. It'll just be a couple more turns for H. Bosworth, and we'll see what type of time he can put on the board. So it is put down for H. Bosworth, coming to the line, jumps to 7th with a 1:15.887.
It's a decent lap again. You say the more I'm watching Boy's time on that mediums, I think he could genuinely be a contender for pole position today if he decides to switch out onto those softs right at the end of the session. Still 3 drivers, like I say, not to put a lap in, including Benny in the Ferrari. We trialled him the other day, and he showed he had quite a bit of pace. So one to watch. We'll see how he is around Imola, because it is a very difficult track, especially for your first league race. So it'll be interesting to see where he stacks up against the rest of the guys.
And I was just on board with Kingsholm, and he put up a 1:15.489 to jump into 4th place. So that is a very good time by the Red Bull driver of Kingsholm. Currently on board with Boosted of the Mercedes team, as it is foot down for the Mercedes driver as he comes to the line and improves by nearly 9 tenths, but does not change positions on the grid, stays 14th.
It just looks like I was on board with him there. It doesn't look like he's comfortable on this track yet. Like I say, the margin of error here is minimal. So getting on the wrong curb, running a little bit too deep into a corner, it all really adds up. And if you don't feel comfortable around here, it can be very difficult to try and get that time back. So just looking, Boy though, I was saying earlier, if he comes out in the medium or comes out in the softs, he might have a good try, potentially one of the pole runners here. He's just come out onto the sauce, he's on his out lap at the minute.
I'm currently riding on board with XC of the Haas team. Has not set a time as yet, so this will be a time that puts him into 10th with a 1:16.015. Well done by the Haas driver of XC. We will see as Thibby is just about to cross the finish line to start his lap. We have just over 3 minutes left in this qualifying session. Anyone else coming to the line on a time Phoenix has invalidated? I believe Flea is currently on a flying lap, so we'll ride on board with him, but I don't think it's going to be a representative time. Yep, and he's going into the pits.
One of those anti-climaxes came, one of those anti-climaxes.
And Dark Stomper. Dark Stomper! Yes. Oh my goodness! 1:15.030. What was he talking in the Discord? I want to know now.
Like this track. He didn't say he was liking this track, didn't feel confident. He says he's definitely not going to win today. I'm starting to think it's going to be a little bit of mind games. There's still more time for more people to come, obviously, but he's only a tenth ahead, so it's not the usual couple of tenths we know he's capable of, but it's looking like he's definitely going to be comfortably in that top 10 at least. I did see, though, I was about to say, the man himself, nice guy Benny, on track. We'll see what he can do. He's invalidated his outlap, to be fair, but that doesn't really matter, let's be honest. I think Iggy was coming behind him, or one of the Alfa Romeos as well. No, it must be H. Bosworth. Both of them on an outlap. I think the track's about to get very, very busy as we come into the dying seconds of this qualifying session. As Kodoi has retired. I'm not sure if that was in the pits.
I think it is.
So he's happy where he is. I'm assuming he's going to try for the alternative strategy today. Has been working for me, to be fair. So the last 2 races I've done, I've went for a mad, ridiculous start outside the top 10 strategy. It seems to be the way to go at the minute. So let's see if he can replicate something that I've been trying to do for the last couple of races.
I'm on board with Enro, and puts in a good time, takes 3 tenths out of his best time to jump to 4th with a 1:15.315. I could see he was moving.
Very good lap. He's here in reserve. Oh, does he get the back end out? He's done what I've seen Shugs Life and Thoboy do at turn 3. I'm going to call that turn 4. I think my Maz is terrible, as everyone knows. But very, very good qualifying lap. Like I said, I'm starting to think with the way I'm watching like a couple of people's onboards, the track's ramping up. I think there could be a little bit of a mix-up in the order at the minute.
Yep. So, you were speaking about King Benny has set a purple sector 1, and he was actually fastest in the practice session. So, this may be the lap of laps for King Benny reserving for the Ferrari team. No errors through there. Yep. Purple sector 2.
Right. Okay.
Oh boy! Oh boy! This is gonna be a lap by King Benny. We will stay on board with him as the qualifying session is now over. And yep, I believe. And he runs wide! I don't believe it!
Devastating lap time there. You had to get 2 corners right. I'm glad I didn't say it because I was about to. Would have been one of those jinxy moments that I seem to love to do. But he was purple sector 1, purple sector 2. He's done a Max Verstappen in Saudi.
Lewis at 1 into the 114s.
Still after that win, and he's given himself a good shout out today. But there's still more people coming. H. Bosworth's on a lap. King's Home's on a lap. Phoenix has been validated. He's out. Iggy Combo. But a lot of smack talk between them two.
I think he's 2 tenths down, so I don't think. Oh, just ever so slightly slower on that lap. We'll ride on board with King's Home, who is still on his flying lap, and this looks like it may be a slight improvement by King's Home. And it is. Jumps to 5th with a 1:15.200. Flea jumps to 15th with a 1:17.714. There is an Alpha coming to the line. Does not improve.
Lewis will be happy with that one, I'm sure. He'll definitely not complain there. Like I say, he's been saying the last couple of races, really, he's still after that maiden win. He's had a couple of podiums, but not yet has managed to stand on the top step. So I think he'd be pretty chuffed for that. But the split in those times between those top 5 is marginal,
Close.
basically non-existent.
Yep. So I will go through the starting grid positions for this race at Imola. It is Lewis F1 of the McLaren team taking pole position with a 1:14.986, the only one into the 1:14s. You have Dark Stomper in second, BKS in third, Baby in fourth, King's Home in fifth, Enro in sixth, H. Bosworth in seventh, Shug's Life in eighth, Prior Thib in ninth, and starting on the mediums as well, Phoenix in 10th. Exy in 11th, Kodoy in 12th, Janadi in 13th, Iggy in 14th, Flea in 15th, Boosted 16th, and King Benny unfortunately was on a flyer and made an error. Will be starting at the back of the grid in 17th.
Yeah, I think I say this is going to be a very difficult track to work your way through the field, so we'll see what he can manage today. He definitely has the pace for it, but it's not a track that makes it particularly easy to overtake. Really only a couple of real heavy braking zones that are invite the overtake, shall I say. But regardless, like I say, I've been told about this 80% rain. It's looking like a pretty nice day here at the minute, but apparently it's coming.
Yep, it'll be interesting, and it's somewhat similar to, well, it sounds like it's going to be somewhat similar to the race that took place for our race for Limitless 1, because it was rain in like the last 5 or 6 laps or something like that.
Yeah, I think I missed that race because I was in Portugal or something, but yeah, I remember watching it back. This was the one where you gambled in the wets?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take some shots, man. You gotta take some shots. You know, if it paid off, you would have looked like a legend. But unfortunately, not in this case. The sky, it looks really nice.
Yeah. So I'll just go through to see who is on what starting tires. So we have Thibbleboy, or Prior Thib, who is starting in 9th, and he is on the mediums. It's only Axie, Iggy, and Boosted who are on the mediums. Everyone else is on the softs.
I understand. I'm surprised there wasn't a couple more decided to take that gamble on the alternate tire. But like I say, if I'm outside the top 10, you might as well try something different. Zayek probably in the best position for that in P11. He gets those fresh mediums. I did see Thibbleboy, or Prior Thib. He had those mediums are at least 4 laps, so he's going to be a bit of a disadvantage compared to the rest of the field off the start. But he showed in the past that he can get a good launch off the line. So we'll see how he manages.
Yep. Of all people, I might be surprised that Iggy didn't actually decide to start on the hards. We all know how much he likes going very long on tires. As we have a disqualification, Kodoy and Janadi must have made contact, and
There's going to be some cool tires at the start. A little bit of a roadblock, maybe. So just a little glance at the comments. King Benny, now Benny has been in the comments already. To quote him, no. So it's almost like he writ that as he was spinning. Maybe that's why he spun. We don't know. This is why we don't text and drive. But so James 44, one of the other Monday drivers, has said he feels very bad for him, and he's blaming himself. He says, "Don't bad for me. It was my mistake." So nice guy Benny, being a nice guy, yeah, again.
Yep. So just waiting for King Benny to line up on the grid. I'll actually go to Lewis F1 and I'll stay on board with him. I don't know if I'll... Yes, I can see the lights on broadcast cam, so we will stay here as it is. No lights as yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And it is away we go. And we will see. Looks like Kodoy has made up a position. Anro has also made up. Flea has made up 3 positions. Make that 4 for Flea.
Can they get through turn... Well, technically turn 2 very civilly. It looked alright from what I've seen so far. Oh, and there's a McLaren instead!
The boy is out. And we have a virtual safety car.
Oh, he's going to be gutted. He did so well to get into the top 10 in those mediums and didn't get the chance to, well, give his strategy a shot. I didn't see what happened, I've seen the aftermath of it. But, oh, devastating for Fib.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for the McLaren driver. But as it is right now, Flea and King Benny.
Oh, it was a bit sketchy going through the middle of sector 2. It was going green again, but he lost the back end just in that swooping right hand there. I can't remember what it's called.
And Exy's out. Exy is out as well.
Guys, what is that? The rain hasn't even come yet. What's going on?
So first race in Limitless 2, Tuesday Limitless 2 for Exy, and he is already out. I am on board with Shug's Life, and he is almost side by side with Phoenix, pushing with the battery as Janati goes into the pits. You'll see as Shug's Life does have the inside line, but Phoenix breaks later and is able to maintain that 8th place position.
Yeah, probably the wise move going into one in that corner, definitely. So, I think he made the right choice there, playing the long game. So, like I said, we're only on lap 2. The race is very, very long. There's another yellow flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, why there was yellow flags there. Everyone seems to be still on the move in this race. Currently on board with King Benny. He's quite close to Flea and makes that move happen, going up into 11th. King Benny has already made up 6 positions, and now I'm on board with Kodoy and Shug's Life. They were just going side by side through that miniature S in at the end, or in the midst of Sector 3. As Lewis, a bunch of fastest laps. It was Lewis and then Dark Stomper, then Baby. Baby, as DRS is enabled, Baby has moved himself up into 3rd place. BKS has dropped to 4th.
He did quite a lot of overspeed. I'm not sure if BKS had a bit of a bad exit out of the last corner, but he did a lot of overspeed on the Ferrari driver there. Another yellow flag.
King Benny is out.
No, next time, Benny, why? What?
And we have a VSC.
Another VSC. Oh, he made up so much. In 2 laps, he went from back of the grid to, I think he was about 11th there.
Yeah.
I'm actually devastated for him. Maybe he's texting and driving again, Cam. Maybe that's what happened.
So we are on lap 3 of this 32-lap race, and we are already on our 2nd VSC of the race, as Phoenix gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, plus a 3-second time penalty as well.
Stewart's really not liking Phoenix at the minute. I'm not sure if there was very little warning or anything for that restart, but I've noticed in the last couple of races there's been a couple of drivers caught out by that. VSC seem to be ending a lot quicker than what they have been in previous.
Yep, so Phoenix is into the pits. BKS has made his way past Baby to reclaim that 3rd place position that he started in. And Baby's out!
It's lap 3, boys. Come on, you're making me nervous. I'm sitting up. Okay, it's lap 3. I can't lie back anymore. This is madness happening. I didn't see what happened, but it seems to be that corner. Like I say, it happened a couple of times in qualifying. That's what. Well, Fibbleway caught out there. King Benny got caught out there, and now it shows Vader.
Yep. So there's as Lewis gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
It's not what he needs. He's got a very, very feisty Alpine behind him, and like I say, I think it's going to be quite a penalty-heavy race. So there's another.
And Enro is around.
Oh, he's in a very dodgy spot there. It's going to be hard to rejoin there.
Yep, drops all the way down to 10th. That is unfortunate for Enro. And H. Bosworth actually making his way past King's Home to go up into 4th. And I believe Shug's Life also just made his way past Kadoy to go into 6th. So there is a lot going on at the moment. King's Home now with DRS wide open, making his way back past H. Bosworth to go back into 4th place. And Kadoy going around the outside of Shug's Life to go into 6th, although Shugs looked like he wanted to fight back, but did not have the positioning to do so.
I'll tell you one driver, actually, I've just been looking at the position changes, one driver that really stepped up his game this week is actually Flea. He's up to P8, he's the biggest gainer so far. I know we've had 4 retirements, but if he can hold this out, it's looking for a good result for him. He's got the race pace. He didn't really have the quality pace, but he's there. Oh no! Don't do it, please! No! Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper there coming out of that last corner, and he done it. Get off him! I'm not looking anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm getting off him. It's gonna happen, Ken. I can't talk. I can't do it.
So as Enro gets himself a 3-second time penalty, H. Bosworth actually just made his way back past King's Home, and Dark Stomper has now made his way past Lewis F1 to go back into 1st. Now back on board with King's Home. Will he make his way past H. Bosworth? They are side by side. And yep, King's Home does make his way past. Shug's Life makes his way past Kadoy to go back into 6th. There is a lot of... this is more excitement than I expected from this Imola track.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting too many overtakes here, and we've probably seen the equivalent of Mondays, and it's only lap 6.
Right.
I tell you one thing though, that sky's not as blue as it was at the start of the race.
Yep. It looks like the rain may be on its way, and potentially sooner than later, as Kadoy has made his way past Shug's Life to go back into 6th. Now on board, Lewis F1 is, and we have Yellow Flag Sector 1, it's Janadi. They have had a little bit of a moment. Boosted gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. I'm on board with Lewis F1 making his way up beside Dark Stomper and past Dark Stomper to go into 1st, and Enro, I believe, is around. He is.
Cam, it's raining. It's raining.
Oh my God! Who is the meteorologist? Who is the meteorologist? So much for late rain. This is lap 7, and the rain has already started.
Yeah, if you, I just noticed that. I've noticed with this game, whenever the rain starts to start, you get a little blip of heavy rain in it for like less than a second. If you're right on board with this, you can see it clearly dripping off his halo at the minute. So, how quickly is this going to go to intermediate tires? Will it go to intermediate tires? At this rate, this meteorologist needs sacked. He got this very, very wrong.
Oh man. So just imagine how this, like, some people may have put on setups that were going to be more inclined for a dry race. If some of these people did not expect rain to be this early, there may be some potential struggles as Flea makes his way past Iggy to go into 8th.
I've seen Nero drive into the pits. I was going to say, was he opting for the inters? very early. We're down to 12 drivers on lap 7. But, no, he's retired from the race. I think he's seen how far behind he is, and he doesn't think he can make up that time. H. Bosworth, though. Oh, King comes into the pits.
Yep.
And for enters.
Really? This early?
I don't know if that's maybe too early. Like I say, he's either going to look like an absolute mug or an absolute legend in about 5 minutes, but those cars sitting in the stationary in the pit lane. What's this?
There's a safety
What's happening
car.
here then?
Boosted is out. And King's Home is frozen. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that was. That Phoenix's or Nero's retired car, but I didn't even see what car it was. That was a strange one.
Yeah, it was an Aston. And Flea is out as well! Oh my.
So, does that mean everyone who finishes now gets points?
Yeah. A quarter of the way through the race.
I don't know. This was it's been a madness so far. Down to 10 drivers. This is survival now. To be fair, this fight at the front is very, very tasty at the minute. Lewis is down in the pits, Stark Stomper's down in the pits, BKS is doing the same. I'm assuming most of the grid's gonna dive in here at the minute. I'm not sure what happened there with King's Home, but he definitely, it was on board. He got held up for a good 10, maybe 15 seconds in the pit there. Yeah. He's gonna lose out, well, big time really from this. He might just keep. Oh, Phoenix is out! Phoenix is out! What's going on? I don't know. What's going on?
My goodness. You see, this is why I said I didn't want rain. This is exactly why I said I didn't want rain.
I mean, I was expecting it to be difficult and a bit of drama, but I mean, this has been madness, to be fair.
So, let's just talk about King's Home for a second. This is actually... Will he be able to make up one position on Iggy?
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I think he's gonna make up that position, yes. So up into 7th goes King's Home. But if he did not pull the trigger a lap before, he would have been higher.
Yeah, exactly. I really don't know what it was. Really, sort of bad timing. A combination of bad timing with the safety car and whatever happened with that car in the pit.
Yeah.
I've never seen that, to be honest. So unless that's a new thing with the update, maybe I'm not sure. But yeah, it's been a bit of a madness so far. To be fair.
So we are currently on lap 9 of this 32 lap race here at Imola. Only 9 drivers remaining as 8 drivers. Phoenix, Flea, Boosted, Anro, Baby, King Benny, Exy, and Prior Thib have all crashed out already.
Let's just say I'm just thankful for this fight at the front of the minute, put it that way.
Yeah.
It's proven to be a bit of a madness. Like I say, there's still a lot of competitive guys down the field. I'd say they haven't got as far to go up the field anymore, but I think you can still see a bit of a surprise podium here at the moment. Tell you one thing I didn't talk about, Kim. Alpha Boys, double points.
Oh, yep.
Am I right in saying they're the only team in the double points at the minute?
Yes. Yep.
So this could work out a very, very good result for them if they can keep this up.
Yep.
I say I'm trying to do the maths in my head. So it's 12 and 4. There was 16. So they want to try and close the dark to Alpine ahead. So at the minute where they're both sitting on track, they're not going to make any headway towards the Alpines. They will make headway towards the Ferraris though, which are just above them. So they just got to behave themselves. Like I say, if the mistakes being made we've seen so far, anything to go by, this could be a really good day for them if they can just keep it on track.
Yep. So I am wondering, will this safety car come in this lap, as Gennady has quite a ways to make before he gets up to the back of the pack. I'm assuming that the safety car will be out.
Oh, BKS! Another driver's been caught. He didn't have damage. I think he avoided the wall, but he did. He just lost it in the end. The exit of I can't remember that corner's name. It's down my head, but it's in sector 2. Looks like he lit up the rear tires and us brought them right down to P8.
Wow.
Did he get damaged? I'm trying to get a decent camera angle. I can't see any at the minute.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. And the safety car, that's a late call, but the safety car is in this lap.
It's a very late call. You normally got a lot. I'm not sure if this latest update has caused absolute madness in the game, but it's definitely been a madness race, put it that way.
Yep. And it looks like it is foot down for Lewis F1. So he gets this race back underway on lap 11, and Kingsholm looking to make his way. BKS has made up one position on Iggy. Kingsholm has made up a position on Shugs to go up into 5th place. But they're side by side, Shugs and Kingsholm, but Shugs yields for the Red Bull driver, although looks like he gets a decent exit, but Kingsholm able to cover off the racing line and stay in 5th.
BKS just behind them too, looking very racy. He's gonna. I'd imagine he's quite frustrated with the result of the end of that safety car. So he's gonna want to try and get those positions back as quickly as possible.
So we will see. Currently riding on board with BKS. Ooh. And looks like he got, and gets a 3-second time penalty just going wide to the right off of that exit of that turn. And Kadoy.
Exit Kadoy in his first race in the league, currently on P4, but he has a 3-second time penalty, and I get the feeling these penalties are going to add up before the end of the race.
Yeah.
Track limits here, very much like Austria, it can be quite ruthless. Mm-hmm. So, like I know Lewis is out in front at the minute, and he only has 3 seconds. I think if Brandon can behave himself, he might just win this on penalties alone.
Yep. So we are currently on lap 12 of this 32-lap race. 9 drivers remaining in this race as well. Currently on board with BKS, just following behind Shug's Life after making an error during the safety car period, spun out at around this section of the track and dropped all the way down to 8th. But as Gennady gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, BKS was able to make his way past Iggy to go up into 7th.
And Iggy coming with us, like I said, these are the penalties starting to rack in a little bit now. We're about a third of the way in. It's I think we're going to have a lot of miles to do before the end of the race, put it that way. I've just been watching a couple of drivers on board. A couple of the drivers really are struggling, it seems, with this rain. Wonder will maybe a couple decide to take the gamble and do what you did. Now, it didn't pay off for you, but maybe the rain's slightly heavier today and they might think of diving under the wets. Maybe get a little bit more grip. But yeah, a lot of the drivers running a little bit deep. Oh, and it's
Kingsholm is out.
The last Red Bull driver, we're down to 8 drivers now.
And safety car.
Oh, it's a madness. Oh, it's an absolute madness.
I don't even know what to say.
Can I take it back? Can we bin off the rain? Can we bin it off? What do you think? Do you think we can bin off the rain? It looks torrential there. Like, you know, some of these drivers have got to be thinking maybe it's time to dive onto these wets.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I don't
personally
know.
speaking, if I was Gennady, I would be sitting going, right, I'm sitting P8 here. Yes, there's a safety car. It's worth the gamble. The worst case scenario, I suppose worst case scenario, he spins out like the other, the other guys. But worst case scenario, if he finishes, he'd finish in P8. Like, so I think it might be worth the gamble, to be fair. Oh, Dark
Stomper dummy.
taking the piss there. Cheeky boy! Cheeky boy! Those are little dummies.
Iggy's in!
Someone's in. Now, question
Iggy combo!
is he going on the limits?
Oh. Let us see what the Alfa Romeo driver decides. Yep, he is. And Giannotti's in as well.
I wonder if he's going to think about taking this gamble just to see. I think the track looks very wet.
I think he heard you, Jason. Oh no, he's on the inters.
Okay. Like I say, I think just thinking, worst case scenario, he finishes P8. Like I say, I suppose what he could do is just put at the end of this lap and put onto the inters if he feels the wets aren't good on his outlap here. But we get a little bit out of shape there coming out of that corner of death, and I'm going to call it now because it's killed half our grid. But I'm not sure. It looks like he's having a bit of difficulty on those tires, so he might come in this lap. At least I get the answer to my question. Put it that way.
Yeah, he has nothing. You were speaking on Gennady, right?
Gennady, I was talking about Iggy. He's getting a little bit out of shape. I'm not sure. We'll see what's. I haven't been on board with Gennady to see what he's been like, but he's going to have the freshest in the field, albeit by only 4 laps.
Right.
It actually made perfect sense for him to pit, really. It's a mild advantage, but it might be enough. I wonder we're going to get a late call here again. Is this going to be one of those ridiculous last-minute calls just for the band?
Yeah, I'm riding on board with Iggy. I think he may need to pit onto the inters.
Yeah, he's locking up a little bit there too. So at least he got the intel. He's took on to the team. He showed the rest of the field. He's coming in.
Yep.
Oh, he's locking up, coming into the pits. Definitely not wet weather yet. But I suppose worst case scenario, he'll lose one position. That he'd hopefully be able to get back, but worth the gamble, to be fair.
Yep. So as it stands right now, we are on lap 15, and it is Lewis F1 started this race in first. Currently in first place under the safety car conditions. Dark Stomper started in second, still in second. H. Bosworth started in seventh and is in third. And then you have Kodoy, who started in 12th and is in fourth place. First LFR race for the Williams driver, doing quite well.
I believe he's American as well. I'm not sure if we've had an American driver on the grid before, so Ken, you should probably be like big rivals with him. The whole Canadian-American thing. Yeah, he's had a decent little run so far, to be fair. Like I say, I'm going to start calling this race the Drive to Survive race, because it seems that if you can just keep on track, you're in with a good look at points. What I'm wondering is the safety car actually going to come in this lap, because he's not at the back of the pack yet, and it normally calls it by now. So expect another late call from the safety car.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say it'd be a late call, but we'll see. Yes, so there's another late call. And you know what's interesting? The race that took place yesterday at Italy, when we were under safety car conditions, didn't that call seem somewhat late as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've maybe done something with the latest update. It seems that it's been a little bit sketchy. Lewis has pulled the trigger there to say Brandon Dark Stomper is looking a little bit racy here, but I don't think he's going to have the pace to get over ahead of him. But yeah, I don't know if they've maybe done something with the update that's affected the safety cars. I'm sure it was by accident. If it did, it's Brandon! A corner of death, almost claimed another victim there. Got very out of shape. Gives Lewis a chance to try and break some toe. Someone else round? H. Bosworth.
H. Bosworth. And Godoy actually just made his way past BKS to go into third.
Could he get a podium in his first race? He's got penalties, but I mean, literally over half the remaining driver have penalties. So, you know, it definitely could be on for him today. Is he reserving or is he full? He went full time, didn't he? So he got full time.
Yep.
Let's just have a little glance at the stands here to see where that would actually put him, hypothetically speaking. This is where I jinx it, and he's going to crash at the next corner. So. If he finished 15th, it would fire him right up to P13 in the standings straight away. Wow. So he can be very happy with that. But of course, we're literally at the halfway point, so could be plenty to happen yet.
Yep. Well, let's see. We'll see if the Williams driver of Godoy can maintain this third place position. Although I will look at the penalties. So it's actually Shug's Life, as it stands, who is in third place because he does not have any penalties. So these drivers really need to take care. Ooh, as BKS making his way past Godoy to go back into third place. These drivers need to try and take care and not get themselves penalties as Shug's Life making a dive up the inside of Godoy to go up into fourth.
I think he's smelling the podium here, and I think he's going to do everything he can to get it. I don't think, from memory, he's actually had a podium yet, so I suppose now's a better chance than any to have a go at it, to be fair. So getting the elbows out and trying to get himself into that position, and if he gets it, fair play to him.
Yep. And Iggy actually just made his way past Godoy as well. So Godoy is just moving backwards on this lap 17.
So whatever's happening the last lap or so, it just doesn't look as comfortable as he did, well, literally a lap ago. I'm just looking down the penalties though, to see what sort of warnings Dark Stomper has. He's actually on his last warning. If he gets another track limit penalty, he could be looking at another penalty. Interesting though, Lewis is also one warning off another penalty, so he needs to really watch himself.
So I'm currently on board with Iggy Combo in 5th place for the Alfa Romeo team, following just behind Shug's Life, who is reserving for the Mercedes team today.
Mercedes and Darren needed some points, to be fair too. Just looking at the standings, they're right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. Not where they're used to be in real life, so if he could fire them back into the mix a little bit if Shug's Life can get that podium. He's currently in the positions. And like I say, he's one driver I've particularly noticed on Thursdays really upped his pace lately. Like I say, at the start of the season, I think we do the pot system on Thursdays. Was in pot 4. I think he's on the cusp of pot 1 now. So one of the big improvers as the season goes on. He did say he would love a full-time seat here on Tuesday, but due to college commitments, he's not able. But he's happy to turn up and do a little bit of reserving whenever he can.
Currently riding on board with Shug's Life, just about 2 seconds behind BKS, who's in third place. But as it stands, although BKS is making his way away from Shug's Life slightly, another 9/10, and BKS will have that outright third place position. So Shug's Life needs to make sure that he keeps that gap with BKS within 3 seconds to get that third place.
Like I say, you can just see him in front of him there if you're on board. It's not a big gap, but 3 seconds in F1 is massive. So Shug's Life currently 1 second from being outside that window. He's going to have to just try and keep with BKS, because we know he's got quite a bit of pace in that car. I've just been having a look at the timing sheets. So this battle at the front, Brandon, the Dark Stomper, is lapping 4 tenths faster than Lewis at the minute on those tyres. I just wonder, is he playing this safe, trying to avoid the penalties and just keep with Lewis? Because at the minute, unless Lewis can really push that car without risking a penalty, Brandon just has to cruise to the end here. But I know he likes to win on track. Oh no!
Gennadi's out.
Is it going to be another safety car?
Yes, it is. Oh boy.
Oh no, okay, so we're now down to 7 drivers. That's done Nate Bosworth a massive favour, to be fair.
Yeah.
After he had that incident.
He better... I think he should not pit, though.
He may as well, to be fair. Take the gamble. Get some fresh tyres in that car, Harry. Go on, you may as well. It's the worst case scenario, you're still P7.
Yeah, no, I think he should actually get up to the back of the field now and then pit after getting to the back of the field. Yep, so he's going through.
Oh, he's on fresh tyres. He's got 2 lap holes, yeah, of course. I'm just be interested to see if anyone else fancies getting a new set. Like I say, I know that Iggy likes to risk a puncture, but he's on the freshest tyres at the minute, so I think he can afford to stay out. But just would, like I said, I don't think Lewis will pit. I doubt Dark Stomper will pit. Just a wonder with the likes of Shug's Life or Kodoy decide to take the gamble and go for a fresh set just to see if they can get any more out of a fresh set of enters.
You know what is interesting? If you look at the track, there's now puddles that are forming.
Correct. So now is it time for the wets? Now maybe? Does H. Bosworth decide to...
Shugs is in! And gets a 5-second penalty.
And so does Kodoy.
But no, it's inters for Shugs. What is Kodoy gonna do? It's a wet.
Interesting, so he's going to take the gamble this time. Iggy done it first time. But I think you're right, those puddles starting to form are sign that the track is definitely getting wetter. It's just a matter of whether it's wet enough, I suppose. I think it's probably, to be honest, it's probably still inters if you can keep it on track. But I think Kodoy should have a lot more grip than those other guys. But we'll see as he comes out of the pit lane.
He's looking not too bad. He's looking not too bad.
Yeah, he's looking alright, to be fair. It might be worth the gamble.
Oh boy.
I'm getting there. Well, we've got half a lap of a safety car here. Do you want to play a game of rock, paper, scissors just for the bands? Is that the stage we're at? If it does another lap, I don't know if I can take it, to be fair, but it's been a very incident-heavy race. But you know, the interesting thing is, nobody actually, there hasn't been a crash between 2 drivers. It's all been one driver, their own fault essentially, just making a mistake, getting the power down too early, losing traction. There hasn't been actual collisions, it's just mistakes.
Yeah. Yes.
Just waiting to see if this is going to call late in. Doesn't look like it's going to do it this lap. No, that safety car staying out for another lap. Give it's Bosworth a chance to
Dark Stomper keeps doing, and BK, he almost got himself. Shugs is in again, so he may be going on the wet.
He's gone.
No, he's serving his penalty. Yep, you're correct.
Yeah. Gonna say, I wonder where he was maybe going to take that gamble. H. Bosworth stays out. So Kodoy, the only driver, his first race, has gambled for the wets. I don't know. He hasn't pit anyway, so on the out lap he hasn't decided if they're the wrong tyre. Iggy Combo was able to make that decision quite quickly. You've got 10 laps to go. Puddles are starting to form. Like I say, if this rain gets worse, he could be on for a win, to be fair.
Yeah, but as you pointed with Shugs going into the pit serving that penalty, should Kodoy have done the same as well?
Could have. It might have been an idea. He's currently the most penalties. He's the only one with 8 seconds. Iggy, BKS, and Lewis all have 3 respectively. Like I say, Brandon's 1 warning off, 1 more penalty. Lewis is 1 warning off, 1 more penalty. Like I say, penalties are really going to play a factor here. Like I say, they're all in the points, and I'd say most of them will be happy with points. The way this has been going. Oh, I thought Lewis was getting a bit squirmy there, but he was just warming his tires. I've got anxiety, Cam. I need a therapist. I can't do this. I'm just a little bit traumatized.
I'm telling you, these puddles are starting to look quite big. I really want to see what's going to play out in these last 10 laps.
I think it could be a madness. I do think it could be a madness. I'm just going to go to the comments and see if there's been any action there. Oh, I'm on the wrong video, so I'm not going to get any comments there. King Benny, nice guy Benny. Iggy Combo for the win. He wants Iggy for the win. He's a man after my own heart. Just look, there was quite a lot of comments actually. See if the car come in?
Yep.
It did.
So Lewis is underway on lap 23. Oh, Iggy and Shugs have pit.
4 wet tires.
4 wet tires. Oh my goodness.
Has Kodoi pulled a madness? Is he going to get a win? Like I said, I'm just the guys in front have opened up a bit of a gap. I'm just trying to see if any of them are struck. Oh, those cars are not driving as fast as they once were.
How is Kodoi doing though? It's not too bad.
Oh, he's lost a bit of time out of that corner.
Yeah.
Whoa! He got a bit lost there.
Yeah.
Just want to say he's going to lose a bit of time from that mistake anyway, but I'm just trying to keep an eye on that delta. Is it inter time? I'm just going to get the gap to the leader actually and see what the guys behind are doing. Iggy Combo is closing the gap to Lewis comfortably.
Oh, and Kodoi's around.
No, he's got damage.
No,
he's got away with it. He needs to get back on track again. Though he's stationary.
Why is he not moving?
I wonder was there a problem with he made that weird little twitch coming up the hill in sector 2. I just wonder has he got an issue with the steering wheel or controller he's using? Because it was some odd behaviour there, to be fair, but the guys at the front still think it's interweather, but Iggy Combo's pulled 5/10 out of Lewis on that lap alone, so Kudoi's still getting a little bit weird. I'm not sure if he's having some issues there, but no, Iggy Combo's pulled 5/10 on that lap alone, and the time's still dropping. He's about to hit 6/10, so I think the wet weather tyre might be a gamble worth doing here. If Brandon wants to try and get a cheeky little undercut, might be worthwhile having a go. Lewis in an unfortunate position. If he makes the call and it's the wrong call, he could lose out in the win here.
And Iggy. So is Kodoi? Kodoi is on the grass. So Iggy has made his way past Kodoi to go into 5th place. I'm just wondering, there's 8 laps left. Does it make sense?
For move on him as well. I think Kodoi's having some issues. There's something. He's dropped off his pace massively this last 2 laps. I think he's maybe having some issues. Lewis, BKS, and Dark Stomper continue to stay out. So does H. Ballsworth. It's like you say. I'm wondering, is it even worth pitting for wets now? If they're confident in their ability to not spin, it might not be worth it. But you're one mistake away from a DNF, as we've clearly seen today.
And I'm just riding on board with BKS. He's struggling now. It's a lot of understeer and just took that turn not too badly, but he's having a bit of traction issues.
I have to say, I think I'd pull the trigger here if I were BKS. I would dive into the pits just on the off chance that the rain gets heavy, because you could lose 20 seconds a lap easily if you're in the wrong tyres. It just doesn't look like intermediate tyre weather anymore. Dark Stomper, he's still able to follow Lewis, and just watch there, he got a little bit of a lock up into that chicane. I just wonder, is he debating it?
So riding on board with Lewis F1, we're about to commence lap 26 of this 32 lap race. Is Lewis going to dive in? No. Dark Stomper follows Lewis. BKS not going in. H. Bosworth is staying out as well.
The combo now gained 4 seconds on Lewis at the front. Like I say, I think it is getting wetter. It's just a matter of how long do these guys think they can hold out. Dark Stomper definitely got a bad exit there through the chicane. Lewis has gained a good bit of time there. He's going to hope that he keeps making those sort of mistakes. Knowing Lewis, I think he's probably thinking I'm going to the end here regardless. Brandon, he might be worth a little bit twitchy.
Lewis.
I think these guys have got to be thinking it's time. It's just a matter of, is Lewis willing to maybe give up a first position here?
Yeah, and I think Lewis is the one who is going to be and another issue. And Dark Stomper now virtually side by side, now is side by side with Lewis. He does want to make sure that he avoids any incident, as he is in outright first place as it is. But
mistakes are coming in hot and heavy.
Yeah, and
heavy.
I believe it is Lewis, as Kadoy gets himself a 3-second time penalty. I think it's whatever Lewis does, everyone else follows. I think that is what the mindset is of these top 3 or even 4 drivers.
Combo, just look at the time there, Ken. He's ripping time out of these guys at the front. I don't think he's got the time to get back at the front unless there's a mistake by any of them or the weather really ramps up. But it's definitely wet weather tyre weather. I suppose another thing Lewis has to consider here, he's after this maiden win. But BKS is his nearest rival. If he finishes today, he should jump King's home in the standings. BKS being his main rival, he'd want to try and close the gap to him. If he makes a mistake, it could be very, very costly in these 5 laps.
Yep, so currently on lap 27 of 32, riding on board with Lewis F1. I'm just very keen to see if he will pull the trigger and go onto the wet spot. I don't, with the difference between where Lewis is and where Iggy is, I don't think that's a decision that Lewis will be making. And yep, goes through, not into the pits, as well as Dark Stomper and BKS. We'll continue on.
3 of them committing to this. I think it's got to the point now where they've said, I've made my bed, now I have to lie in it. Like I say, it's just whether they're willing to take the gamble here. Like they've done a great job so far to keep these cars on track. There's been a lot of twitchy moments, a lot of snaps of oversteer that have been caught. It's genuinely impressive. I think Iggy made a mistake in that lap though, because he's just dropped a second again to the guys in front. But I think he's nearly safe to Shug's Life behind, but he's got to try and find that second. Shug's Life gets a little bit out of shape there coming through the first chicane, so that might help Iggy out there. But yeah, those guys at the front, I think it's literally just a case they've made their bed. They have to lie on it now. Lewis probably hoping that Dark Stomper makes a mistake before he does, take a little bit of that pressure off him.
And BKS is actually doing a good job. He's actually closing in on Dark Stomper. So they have about equal amounts of battery between the two of them. So it's just going to be Oh, and BKS. It's close.
Another snap of oversteer. Has caught it. It looks to me that Brandon's actually got more straight line speed than Lewis has at the minute, which is where he's making up a little bit of time on him. Gap's currently 1.1 seconds. Lewis needs to find a lot of time before he gets to that gap, and he hasn't got a lot of time left to do it. Iggy Combo. Interestingly, I tell you what, I haven't even been looking at the rain, but that rain is a lot lighter.
Yeah.
So
and
is it coming back to those inter tires?
Yeah, and Kadoi's actually in the pit, so serving a 5-second penalty. Is he going on? Yep, onto the inters for Kadoi.
Maybe the inter tires coming. It definitely was wets. I wonder, has it come back towards the intermediate runners? Because Ecom was lost a lot of time in the last 2 laps. I just wonder if they've made the right call there. Like I said, I think they did for the conditions, but weren't anticipating this rain to get lighter. He runs a little bit deep. Needs to watch he doesn't get any more penalties because he's got the Mercedes of Shug's Life just behind.
So currently on just starting lap 30, only 2 laps left after they cross the start-finish line. Again, it is Lewis F1 maintaining that first place position. Dark Stomper currently in second, but Dark Stomper does have that first place position as it is due to Lewis F1's 3-second penalty. And then we have BKS, who's currently in third outright, even with that 3-second time penalty.
What Lewis really needs here is for BKS to have a go at Dark Stomper. He needs him to fight. So if those two waste a lot of time fighting, he might be able to claw a lot of time. But BKS just not close enough to have a go at Brandon at the minute. But like I said, still 2 laps to go. He's right there in front of him. If he can get close enough, I know he's more than willing to have a crack at him.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting all of this shit. So it definitely seems to have gone back to inter tires. Shug's Life manages to get round him now, up into P5. Like I said, definitely feels like and Shug's Life getting a little bit out of shape again, but manages to catch it. It definitely, even those puddles don't look anywhere near as prominent as they once were. The dry line starting to form again. Imagine it just, it never would happen, but imagine it just goes straight dry. It's like a summer's day. I would just tie this up nicely, a little cherry on the top. As well, although mind you, Lewis has opened up the gap by 0.2 at the minute. I think, like I said, it's still a big ask. He needs 1.7 on Dark Stomper behind to take that maiden win. He might cross the line first today, but unless there's a mistake from Brandon, it's looking like it could be P2.
Yep, so just a few more turns for Lewis F1 to make, and then as he crosses the start-finish line, that will be the start of the final lap of this race. Only 7 runs, and Lewis gets another penalty. So that now,
seen him run wide.
And BKS, that now puts him into second place.
Just trying to get the interval up. Yeah, unless BKS now makes a mistake, he's managed to get himself into another P2.
Wait a minute, hold on. So Lewis has 6 penalties. Seconds. So Lewis has to push. BKS really has to make up about 2. Yeah, BKS has to make up about 0.2 to get that second place position.
Oh yeah, of course. So it's really, there's not much in it. It's literally marginal at this point. I'm gonna throw
Last
another
lap
thing in the mix.
drama.
They're all on really old vendors, Cam. What about a puncture? Could there be a puncture? Could we another? There's a yellow flag. It's code oil. Is he out of fuel?
Not too sure, but I'm gonna stay on board. This is gonna be close between Lewis and BKS. I can see BKS is pushing. We will see. He has about a tenth to make up through these final 2 turns. Oh, and Lewis makes a mistake!
Oh, I'm not sure if it's enough. It's going to be tight towards the line. BKS needs a great exit here. Burn the battery, son. Tight line.
Nope, BKS is in third.
Just holds at 3/10. H. Bosworth coming next. He's looking like he's secured a comfortable fourth. Shug's Life in fifth at the minute. So unless he makes a mistake, Iggy Combo looks like he's going to come home in sixth. And Kodoy 1 lap down. Looks like he's going to be in P7 the way it stands. But do you know what? And genuinely mean this. Fair play to the guys who finished, because this was obviously a very difficult track to do in the wet. Like I say, every single DNF was the own driver's fault. There was just a minor error, and it spat them out. Like I said in the qualifying, the margin of error here was minimal, and that's what happens when you make an error around Imola. But fair play to them, credit to them. Iggy Combo gets driver of the day, double points for the Alfa Romeo drivers, and Dark Stomper once again extending his championship lead.
Yep. Dark Stomper is that force to be reckoned with. So I will go through the final finishing positions of the 7 drivers who finished this race. So it is Dark Stomper finishes in second on the track, but first outright due to not having any penalties. Lewis F1 finishes second, BKS in third. H. Bosworth finishes in fourth, Shug's Life finishes in fifth, Iggy Combo comes home in sixth, and Kodoy rounds out the finishers for this race in seventh. And then I'll go through the DNFs. It's Gennady in eighth, Kingsholm in ninth, Phoenix in 10th, Flea in 11th, Boosted in 12th, Enro in 13th, Baby in 14th, King Benny in 15th, XC in 16th, and Prior Thib in 17th.
It was definitely a bit of a madness. Like I say, I don't imagine there's going to be too many incidents, to be fair, this week, but unless the drivers feel like reporting themselves, but it definitely was a madness. Like I said, the penalties did come down to it in the end. Lewis did cross the line for the first time in his LFR career, but unfortunately this time it's due to a couple of mistakes. He's still waiting on that win, but a very commemorative podium.
Yep. All right, everyone. So I would like to thank you for tuning into this stream. If you have not subscribed to this channel already, if you can do so, that would help immensely. And also like this video, this current stream, that would help as well. For Thursday Formula 4, it is the last race for the first half. So I will just see where that race will be taking place, and it'll be at Brazil, and it is the reverse grid format. So make sure you tune into that on Thursday. As for myself as well as Big Weir, we say take care.
Bye.